Simon Hall, and this week's episode of Win or Bust is a continuation regarding tags last week and the employment of students who have had their exams marked by the teachers who know them the best. Now, it's not what you're thinking, because somebody said something to me after last week's show, and they were right. As an employer, they were also an employer that said, when you think about it, with the students that have got these great grades and everything else this year, and the grades have gone up, and some people are saying, oh, you've got to look at it negatively and all that, and I'm like, no, look at it so positive. And they were the same. You know, they've done remote working. I think that's a bit of a key word for now and for moving forward. They've worked independently. I know it's sort of the same thing, but they've had to work independently. They've had to study. They've had to go and find some answers themselves. You know, they've not had a teacher or a friend across the classroom. Okay, they may have had text or something to a friend to say, what have you got, you know, answer-wise for this, not for the exam, just for learning. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, I think they've done brilliant. I think the kids have done absolutely superb. To do it in this environment, you know, so that's now showing resilience, you know, and probably confidence in the future now for as they go forward. You know, no matter what you chuck at me, I'm going to crack on, I'm going to get it done. But there was something else. What about the badly behaved students in school? The badly behaved students that distract so many different people within school. Now, there used to be a thing about the disruption of school. You know, so if a single student was completely disrupting the running of school, more often than not, they were excluded or sent into isolation. That's a different conversation. But when you look at the results, when those year 10s that became year 11s over the whole COVID period have had none of that distraction, and then look at the results. Now, everyone's allowed an education, and everybody should be included to the right level, to the or I said just above the right level, because they need to be pushed, and I do believe students do need to be pushed. But the students who misbehave can really be detrimental to the other students. And there is a saying, and probably if you're a teacher watching this, you will well and truly know it, or even support staff, you will definitely know it, is that 10% of students take up 90% of your time. And it's very, very true when it comes to behaviour. Students that have those behaviour issues are really, really time consuming. And because education's gone so inclusive, and as somebody who specialises in special educational needs, it kind of comes in to say, do you know what, sometimes you've got to put every student in the environment that's good for them. Now, I know people are now there saying, oh, what about the money, the staff, we ain't got the teachers, we ain't got the room and stuff like that. I get that. But if you know what the problem is, and people say, oh no, I want my kid included in them, but your kid constantly ruins it for those 20 or 30 kids, then you've kind of got to think about these things. I mean, I'm going back in my head on you know, the different battles that schools have with students that have a behaviour, I'm going to say call it an issue, call it a behaviour issue. Okay, there may be something within their special educational needs that causes them to be that. And sometimes it's very hard to say, actually, they're SEN and they're a naughty kid. Because the naughty kid parents will want the label that kid doesn't want. I hope that makes sense. So you have the kid here, it's naughty kid, probably had no boundaries, no nothing, zilch, diddly, okay? But that parent, the one thing they want is that label over here, who's that parent didn't want. You know, so that's kind of the way that we've gone, but I kind of digress, that's a whole different story. But my thing is that our kids this year and last year through COVID, probably, yes, education was disrupted, but it wasn't disrupted by those who didn't want to sit in a classroom, didn't want to listen to the teacher, wanted to distract every single other child in that room and ruin their learning. So, straightforward, what lessons can we learn from this? I haven't really got a win or a bust, have I? If I win a backing or a bust, let me kind of think now. So I'm doing it like, just going for this because I'm trying to think. A win on this is the fact that if you've got kids on that misbehaving scale, should they be with the kids who don't? Mentors, parent meetings, outside services, multi-agency meetings, they can all take place, but at which point do you say enough's enough? Next week's show will hopefully, I'm going to discuss exactly that for those kids who don't fit into that mainstream bubble, if you like. Okay? Please comment below. You may agree, you may totally disagree, but be nice with it. Just say it what it is and what solutions you think there should be, because I'd be really would love to know. I'm Simon Hall, KRS Education. See you next week.